Alright, in this video we'll show you how to use a Garmin Adventure on your GPS device. Here we're using a GPSMAP 62, but you can use any recent Garmin handheld device. And a Garmin Adventure is a collection or a package of files, including waypoints, track files, photos, geocaches, and a whole bunch of more stuff. Now take a look in the description and annotation of this video and I'll show you how to create a Garmin Adventure. But let's assume that our friend of ours did a nice little hiking trip in this park and they've put together all the photos and track points and geocaches. What we want to do is download that Garmin Adventure, load it onto our device, and share the same adventure following the same track and see the same sights that he or she did. We just assume that we've just transferred the adventure from Basecamp to our device. Now we're ready to hike. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click on Find, and you need to update your firmware for this. And we're going to scroll down to our Adventures icon here. Hit Enter, and that will list the adventures from nearest to furthest, just like anything else. Here we're at Smiley's Provincial Park, 1.6 kilometers away, and you notice how the others have different distances. That's from the track file. Notice here that we have different time allowed. So this is the time to create the track for each of these adventures. Notice here we have 0 seconds. That's because of the GPX file that the person used didn't include the time and date information and elevation information, but that's fine. We still got the track file. So let's hit Enter, and here it is. And you can see we have some geocoded images along the way. So let's hit Menu and let's review the content. And this adventure has 1 track file, 1 waypoint, 9 geotagged photos, and 1 geocache. And we have the option to start the adventure. Let's go back 1 screen, hit Menu again. Let's review adventure. And here's a description that's been included in the Garmin Adventure. You have a distance, ascent, duration, descent, all such of information. So let's hit Start to start this adventure. And here we are, like that. But let's switch over to the compass page. And now we have our direction of travel. We're about 200 meters from the actual start of the track file. So let's start walking and show you what happens when we get to the start point. Alright, so if we move over to the map page, we can see that there's a start and an end point icon. But let's flip over to the compass page and see how far are we from the starting point. About 9 meters. So let's walk just a few little steps here. Try to get to the starting point. Kind of like geocaching, really. Alright, so we hit our starting point, and now we have 1.2 kilometers if we want to follow the track. So now at this point we can just flip over to the map page and take a look at our track. And you can see that we have a nice little loop here. So we're just going to follow this, and looks like there's a geocache along the way, so we might take a look for that and see where we're at. Alright, so here we are on our track. We notice here that there is a geocoded image along the way as part of the adventure. So just like anything else, any other waypoints or geocaches, we can simply take our arrow or rocker here and move it towards or hover it on top of the image. And once we have that selected, we can hit Enter and Enter again. And we can see the details of the image when it was taken, camera, and the exact coordinates. So if you want to navigate to that spot and see how much things have changed since October, just hit Enter, and now we can navigate to that waypoint. Alright, once we're done walking the adventure, we can stop it by clicking on Find and selecting Stop Navigation. That will deselect the track file as part of the adventure, and we can use the GPS as we normally would. And that's how you play around with Garmin Adventures. And customize based on what we're doing. So let's get started here by tapping on the page button. Let's get to the main menu. Let's scroll down to Profile Change. Now we already have a number